Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts.
Welcome everyone to the
Jeff.
Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. Today we're talking week 12 around the NFL. Not as many games today because we had 3 of them on Thursday, Thanksgiving. Lions almost pulled one off, but didn't. But we got the rest of the action today, and we're gonna start with Browns-Bucks. Browns-Bucks win to overtime, and the Browns actually win. I think Bucks got the ball first too in overtime and didn't get the win. They fall to 5-6, but I'm pretty sure the whole NFC South lost. So, or not, except for the Panthers, it might have won. Saints definitely lost. Yeah, Falcon. Yeah. So, Bucks are still there, right? They have a chance. They're still in it. Let's look at this game for the Bucks. Brady was fine. 246, 2 touchdowns. Nothing wrong with that. Chris Godwin really stepped up, 12 for 110 in the touchdown. We haven't seen like big time Chris Godwin games much this year. The other touchdown went to a guy I had never heard of before this game, Ko Kieft. I think it said, I was watching, it was like the 95th player or something that Brady's thrown a touchdown to in his career. Mike Evans, not much there, 2 for 31. Julio, 3 for 40. Rashad White gets the start at running back without Fournette, 14 for 64 and 9 for 45 receiving. So solid game for White, but I don't know. The Bucks, it's weird. They have all this talent and they just still, I don't know, they don't dominate.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for them to put it together. I don't really understand why, because they played pretty decent on both sides of the ball today. They just didn't score as much as they needed to. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. But yeah, Rashad White, he looked solid. Yeah, so as long as Fournette is out, he's going to be a good start, and hopefully he'll start getting into the a few more red zone carries here.
And then for the Browns, Brissett in what will be his last game as the starter, at least for now. We'll see what happens if Deshaun comes out and plays well. But Brissett, 210, touchdown pick. On the ground, Nick Chubb, he's good. I hope you listened to us and drafted him. You're probably feeling pretty good. 26 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt only with 5 carries. I remember that whole narrative. They're going to split. No, Nick Chubb's that good. He's that good. He's amazing. So, and then Anthony Schwartz, the wide receiver, actually ran one carry, 31 yards and a touchdown. The receiving touchdown went to David Njoku. It was an awesome one-handed catch. Really great catch there. The guy's a good, talented player. He was really starting to put it together before he got hurt. And man, I can't believe I'm going to probably buy into Njoku again next year. I'm not done with this guy. He has talent. He does.
Absolutely. I mean, we were getting psyched about his skills early on, but once again, I feel like he's going to be another tight end that takes this many years to really get going. And on top of that, you're about to get an upgrade at QB.
Yep.
Assuming for Cleveland. So yeah, that'll be a really interesting. And then
Cooper, 7 for 94. Solid game.
He's having a good year. I mean, it's been kind of under the radar, but very solid.
Yeah, we'll see how the quarterback situation does for him too.
Yeah, I don't know if it will help him or hurt him, to be honest, or he'll just kind of remain the same. I would assume remain the same, but getting that upgrade, maybe there's actually, the ability to move on up. So he was one of those guys that I was kind of looking at to trade because, he, once again, not exactly the biggest name in the world if you have a really late trade deadline as well. But on the other end of it too, for keeping possibilities, he fell off so much that he was relatively cheap to draft.
He was.
So I was kind of like, if I put him on my bench and then maybe I can keep him next year, depending on what happens in this final stretch of games. So he's a very interesting player moving into next year.
Definitely. How about Bengals, Titans? Bengals win 20-16. Burrow, 270 and a touchdown. The one touchdown with the Higgins, who was 7 for 114. No Jamar Chase in this one. I would expect him to be back next week. It looked like he could have played this one, but they decided to hold him out one more week. So Jamar Chase, expect him back next week. No Mixon, though, at being in concussion protocol. So Samaje Perine gets a start. 58 on the ground with a touchdown. He also caught 4 balls for 35. So if you used him in a spot start, did well. That's probably the only time you're going to get to use him. Well, but Bengals with Jamar Chase next week. We'll see if Burrow can really start stepping up again and Mixon. But they get the win without those guys. So, hey, not bad. Titans, Tannehill, 291, no touchdowns, no picks. I mean, that's just what it is. Derrick Henry really didn't get going in this one on the ground, 17 for 38, but he did catch 3 balls for 79, one being a 69-yarder that he fumbled right at the goal line. Would have been a touchdown. Said he fumbles it. Treylon Burks recovers it for the fumble recovery touchdown. So that sucked for Derrick Henry owners. Great for Treylon Burks people who played him this week. Burks 4 for 70, but he gets the fumble recovery touchdown. Gives you a pretty good day. But there you go. There's the Titans for you. You got Henry, you got Burks. That's the only guys you're going to be using. Burks, I think, I like what I've seen from him. So it's coming on. How about Texans Dolphins? Exciting stuff here. So Dolphins, this is funny. When Dolphins scored 30 points in the first half, right? Their over under for this game was 30.5, I believe. 30.5. They scored 30 in the first half and nothing in the second half. Oh man. So Tua's been good. He threw for 299, a touchdown. The touchdown, though, doesn't go to Waddle. It doesn't go to Hill. It goes to Smith, Durham Smith, the tight end. Not even the starting tight end, but he gets that. Jeff Wilson, 13 for 39 and a touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 5 for 85. Tyreek Hill, 6 for 85. Those are good receivers, basically. It looks like Wilson, I did see he left with some cramping. I'm trying to see what actually happened to him. He left with some cramping. He did come back. They didn't really have to do much at the end. They didn't even play these, they played Myles Gaskin, if that tells you anything, right?
Right.
Yeah,
and Mostert didn't play at all. So
yeah. No, and then the Texans, they were down 30-0 before they scored. They benched Davis Mills, and this one started Kyle Allen, who throws 215, a touchdown, 2 picks. Didn't go any better. Dameon Pierce. This is the story, though, right? I think we talked about it last week. Again, we've been talking about it. Good player, but we were really worried about these games. Here we go. 5 carries for 8 yards, 3 catches for 8 yards. I mean, this is bad news. This last week, 10 carries, 8 yards. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's at 8 yards rushing. That's bad. I mean, this team is getting worse.
Yeah, I mean, they are. I mean, look, they're 1-9. They have no reason to do better. They just don't. And they have young quarterback play no matter who you have. You don't really have too much of offense. Like, you don't have offensive weapons in general. Like, if you're looking at the people that actually had more than 10 yards receiving, you're looking at Jordan Akins, Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins, and Teagan. I actually don't know who this person is. Quit Toronto. So yeah, it's just not going to get any better for him. And we're at an unfortunate place in the year where you probably can't do much about that. There's going to be injuries and whatnot. So Dameon Pierce is turning into, like, for me, kind of what like what I was doing with Najee in the middle of the year, where I'm kind of like, as much as I love the guy, until that team shows me they can do something, I'm looking for alternatives. And that might be someone like a spot start, that we just spoke about. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on him moving forward?
That's rough. This is the rough spot. He's been like an automatic plug-in, right? Dameon Pierce has. And now these 2 games, it really, I guess, depends on your situation. Like, I have teams where, Dameon Pierce, he's starting no matter what. Not even gonna think about it. But those are my teams that aren't good.
I was about to say,
that's the problem. That's the problem. And one of them is our dynasty league. I have Dameon Pierce, right? So let me look at my lineup. Let me see if it's a, I think I might be out of it after this. It's just been a rough year with injuries. I won the title last year and did not defend it. Even though I'm going to win this week. So I did start him this week, right? But my other running backs, Jonathan Taylor. So I just have 2 running backs, and then I've been starting to flex. But I have Jonathan Taylor. I have Miles Sanders, who's awesome tonight for the Eagles. So Jonathan Taylor, Miles Sanders, Dameon Pierce, DeAndre Swift, Antonio Gibson, Gus Edwards even.
Yeah.
Man, it's something where I'm going to be looking at putting a wide receiver maybe in that flex spot, possibly even, instead of Dameon Pierce next week, and just start Taylor and Sanders. So we'll see. It definitely can happen. So, all right, let's jump over to Jets Bears, and Jets dominate this one, 31-10. After they bench Zach Wilson and they start Mike White, and Mike White played great, 22 of 28, 315 and 3 touchdowns.
Are you that surprised at this one? Because
no, they have good weapons. The weapons
year.
Are here.
Like, Mike White actually had, and with less weapons, he actually did really, really good for like the first couple of games he was out there. And then you're going against Chicago as well with no Fields as well.
He's better than Zach Wilson. He is.
He is.
He's better than Zach Wilson right now. Right now.
I like Zach Wilson's upside. Like, is the kid talented? Absolutely. I love that I can call him a kid still. But like, but hey, Mike White has shown that his ceiling isn't as much. But if I was the Jets, I would be playing him probably. It's so difficult. Obviously,
Zach Wilson, I think you just the Jets are 7-4. The Jets are 7-4.
Yeah, you should be looking to win.
You play Mike White, and Zach Wilson sits the bench the rest of the year.
Yeah,
it's simple as that.
Figure out a way to make him better without getting rid of him or hurting his confidence too much.
100%. You have to go that way. So through the air in this one, after Mike White threw all those touchdowns, it was Garrett Wilson caught 2 of them, 5 for 95. Garrett Wilson's had some good games. I mean, but he's struggled a bit with Zach Wilson, I feel like, at times. So this could be big for Garrett Wilson with Mike White out there. And then Elijah Moore, even 2 for 64 and a touchdown.
I was just saying the Elijah Moore, like Garrett Wilson, obviously, but he's been up and down, but they're trying to get him involved. Elijah Moore is the one where I feel like this year is turning into a lost year. Like I really liked what I saw last year. And this could be really interesting. It was only 2 balls, only 2 targets, but he made the most of them. So hopefully that might start going in the right direction.
So then the running game, Michael Carter leaves this one with an ankle injury. James Robinson was a healthy scratch. That's
a weird one.
Healthy scratch. I'm sorry to those James Robinson people. I mean, we told you for a while he was just another guy, and he really was. Because in this one, so Michael Carter goes down, and it becomes Ty Johnson plays and goes 5 for 62 with a touchdown. But the guy who had the most carries, Zonovan Knight, Jeff. I mean, I don't know.
Everyone knows this name. We're getting into this point of the year where the no-namers are coming up. So
he made signed up the practice squad Friday, and he looked good. 14 carries for 69 yards, solid.
Dude, good for him. I don't think it's going to matter because they have a million names, right? But you're just waiting for one of these guys to get healthy.
Well, and then the Bears, honestly, it's not even really worth to analyze them. No Justin Fields. So they had Trevor Siemian. He's Trevor Siemian, 179 touchdown, a pick. His touchdown went to Pringle. Montgomery had 14 for 79. So okay day. And he had 34 through the air. So solid day for Montgomery. Claypool 2 for 51, but no Justin Fields. Honestly, their analysis doesn't matter. About Commanders, Falcons. Commanders go to 7-5 here. The 19-13 win. Taylor Heineke just wins, I guess. He threw for 138 and 2 touchdowns. The touchdowns went to Bates and went to Brian Robinson Jr., who caught one. And then Robinson, this was his coming out party here, 18 for 105. His best game he's had, probably. Antonio Gibson took a backseat finally to Robinson, and this one 9 for 32 for Gibson. And of course, I started Gibson over Robinson, which I would have beat John possibly if I started Robinson over Gibson, but whatever. But it's good to see that from Robinson. We'll see if can he do it again, right? He's going to sustain himself. This was cool. This is good to see. Well, 125 total yards and a touchdown, but will he keep going with it? And McLaurin 4 for 48. That's just Terry McLaurin for you, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's Heineke only had 138. No one's going to have a huge game.
Yeah. For Atlanta, Mariota 174, touchdown, a pick. His touchdown went to Michael Pruitt. Zacchaeus led the way with 91 yards. Drake London 2 for 29. Patterson had 52 on the ground, 19 receiving, and Algier had 54 on the ground. So there's just split backfield. There's not a lot of guys to use here for the Falcons. There just isn't. You're probably using Patterson in situations, but you don't have to use him in all situations. That's for sure. There's a lot of teams that can just put Patterson on the bench. So you very well might not need any Atlanta Falcons. How about Panthers, Broncos? Panthers win 23-10. This game, who cares? I mean, the Broncos are so bad. They're just terrible.
I don't get it. I will be
100%
honest. Well, I do not understand how they're this bad.
They are. And also for the Panthers, Sam Darnold comes in and plays, right? It's not like he did great. 164 touchdown. He ran for one, but maybe this unlocks DJ Moore a little bit. If anything good is going to be here, 4 for 103 and a touchdown for DJ Moore.
I mean, we say that, but I don't think so. DJ Moore he outperforms the talent around him consistently. But look, Darnold did exactly what Darnold does.
Their run game though is solid. Foreman 113 and Hubbard even at 65. So that's the only good thing.
That is ridiculous how much they ran the ball. That is, and obviously with the way the Broncos were playing, they could.
Yep.
But that's not going to help DJ too much.
And then the Broncos, Wilson 142 and a touchdown. Murray 13 carries, 92 yards. Sutton 6 for 75. They're a bad offense.
Yeah,
They're
when Russell Wilson is getting outplayed by Darnold, oof, man, pack it up for the year.
Yep.
Like, what is happening? But Latavius Murray did have
okay.
Solid game.
Yep. Jacksonville Ravens. Jacksonville wins at the last second. Basically, comes down, scores a touchdown, goes for 2. That's 2 teams today score at the end and go for 2 and win. We have one more we'll get to, but Jacksonville 28-27 win. Trevor Lawrence throws for 321 and 3 touchdowns and led that drive at the end. This was the first time I've seen Trevor Lawrence play like, oh, wow, this guy, number 1 pick for a reason, right? He looked good. Touchdowns went to Hasty, went to Agnew, went to Marvin Jones. On the ground, Travis Etienne left with an injury. We will have to see how severe that is. It was a foot injury. It doesn't sound too serious, but we'll see. Jermichael Hasty came in his absence and ran for 28 yards and caught 5 for 67 with that touchdown. Zay Jones, solid 11 for 145 day. So, Jacksonville shows some promise.
That's big. I mean, 14 targets for Zay. So,
yep, good day there. And then for the Ravens, Lamar threw for 254 and a touchdown. The touchdown went to Oliver. Deshaun Jackson caught a 62-yarder. Not a touchdown, but a 62-yard. He still has some speed. Then the ground game, Gus Edwards is back in this one, 16 for 52 and a touchdown, but Lamar led the way with 89. Mark Andrews only a 4 for 50 outing. Not spectacular. Then how about Chargers? Cardinals, Chargers, they win again. They win with a last second 2-point conversion as well. Getting risky and going for it, and they win here. Herbert, 274, 3 touchdowns, threw him to Carter, threw him to Eckler, threw it to Allen. On the ground, Herbert, though, led the way with 38 yards. Eckler only had 5 for 20. But again, doesn't matter when he catches 11 balls for 60 yards and a touchdown. So he can save his day. DeAndre Carter actually led them with 7 for 73 in that touchdown. Keenan Allen was 5 for 49. Then how about the Cardinals? Murray, 191, 2 touchdowns. James Conner, though. That's about you know what?
That's
better.
We've been bagging on him. So I will.
That's better.
This is the one where I'm like 25 for 120. Know what? Good for you.
And he caught 3 balls for 20 and a touchdown.
Yeah, he did. He did big things today. So
good game.
Yeah, good for him.
We have been giving him crap, but hey, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean,
and they got Marquise Brown.
We have been correct, but
but they get Marquise.
They'll get me.
Marquise Brown came back and was 6 for 46. Hopkins was 4 for 87, a touchdown. Forgot they have Robbie Anderson. That's right. Guy's worthless.
Yeah. But it was good to see Hollywood Brown back out there and doing his thing. 8 targets.
They're 4-8 though.
Yeah, I mean, it is. This would have been a very big shift, and the Cardinals probably should have won this game. So I don't know what is about to happen to them, but once again, the NFL is just all over the place. I mean, the Lions were only they had a possibility of making the playoffs. Like, everyone is still technically in it, unless you're,
Houston.
Yeah. poor Houston.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Or the Rams, I think. Right.
Yeah. Or let's just end the Broncos. Like, there's a few that you're kind of like, yeah, we can just write them off.
So how about the Raiders versus Seahawks? Raiders win in OT 40-34. And they scored at the end of regulation, I believe, to send this one to OT as well.
Another team not ready to write them off.
No. And Josh Jacobs wins the game with an 86-yard touchdown run. He reminded me of Donovan Edwards in this one from Michigan.
Know what? Yeah, that's wild. Michigan has a legit shot. I don't want to get into that whole thing, but yeah, Josh Jacobs, his numbers were gaudy today.
Yeah, 229, 2 touchdowns, caught 6 for 74, over 300 total yards.
Yeah, just video game numbers today.
Man, it's crazy. Derek Carr threw 3 touchdowns, 295. Touchdowns went to Hollins, Abdullah, and Morrow. Oh, let's see. Adams, 7 for 74, so solid, right?
Yep.
Man, Josh Jacobs has been good. And Raiders get this win. So I didn't get to see the ending because Red Zone, when they have one game, they have to take it off the air. And they said, go to your CBS station to watch. And guess what? CBS had 60 minutes on, so that was not fun. Didn't get to see the ending. So the Seahawks, Geno threw for 328 and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker didn't really get much going on the ground, 14 to 26, but 2 touchdowns. So that saved his day right there. 2 touchdowns. So he had 39 total yards, but when you get 2 touchdowns, it doesn't matter in fantasy. DK Metcalf, 11 for 90. Lockett, 3 for 68 and a touchdown. And then Travis Homer caught a touchdown as well. We got 2 more here. We got Chiefs, Rams. Chiefs win 26-10. I mean, it was easy. Rams suck especially without Stafford, even with Stafford, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean they got no one there now.
No. So the Chiefs, Mahomes 320. He only needed to throw one touchdown in this one. So that one touchdown went to Travis Kelce. Really no surprise there. Kelce 4 for 57. Isaiah Pacheco is the guy now. 22 carries, 69 yards. Not a lot, yards per carry, but he got himself a touchdown. So, and you know what? One thing I've been seeing a little bit too from Kansas City is Sky Moore. He didn't have like a huge game, but he's starting to play a little bit more and starting to he looks okay. Like these last two games, right? 5 for 36. Again, it's not huge, right? But it's something. It's a start. 6 targets. Last week was 5 for 63, 6 targets. It's just the start of something. Before that, he only had in the previous 9 games, I think he had, 7 catches in the previous 9 games. Now he has 10 and 2. It's the start of something. So
yeah, I like that point too. And
they confuse me though. I'll say Sky Moore and Isaiah Pacheco confuse me. You got Sky Moore out there at number 24, and you got Isaiah Pacheco number 10. Like, come on, let's switch that around.
Right. I'm saying, speaking of wide receivers that are starting to turn it around, our man Christian Watson just caught another touchdown. I just saw it come through.
Of course he did. He's a touchdown.
3 games in a row now, or
man, he just catches touchdowns. That's all he does. It's great though.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And then for the Rams, I mean, who cares? This is bad.
Yeah,
they had Perkins in here, 100 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He was the leading rusher with 44. Akers was 8 for 37. Kyron Williams 11 for 35. Van Jefferson 3 for 29 and a touchdown. And Allen Robinson now he's out too for the year, I think. So
yeah, just injury, and let's be honest, that's all she wrote for
they're
Allen
done.
Robinson. Yeah, he really was done, and that's unfortunate. And that they're not they're not defending anything.
How about 49ers Saints? This is ugly football. 49ers win 13-0. Garoppolo 222 and a touchdown. He threw the touchdown to Jennings on the ground. Mitchell led the way with 35 yards. He did get hurt. So was I guess, again, not surprising at this point. They're probably wishing they didn't trade Jeff Wilson, to be honest with you. Wouldn't it be nice to have the Jeff Wilson as the insurance here? I think it would. McCaffrey 11 for 32. Yeah. 11 for 32, 4 catches for 17. Ayuk 5 for 65. It almost looks like, man, trading Jeff Wilson could have been a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I will say this though, like, hey, right now, like Debo, I know he doesn't want to do it.
They need to give him.
He has not been that dominant this year. And if you want to like earn that big contract, or if they're just like, we're not going to pay him next year, like I would have him be their number 2 running back and been like,
he needs to get some carries. He doesn't want to do it, but that's what can win. I mean, they're 7-4, right? They're doing fine. But
yeah, no, they have a legit chance to make a strong push if they get it together.
And then the Saints, they were terrible. Don't
sugarcoat it.
I mean, Andy Dalton 204, no touchdowns, no picks. He led the team. If Andy Dalton leads your team in rushing, there's a problem. He had 21 yards. Taysom Hill had 13. Alvin Kamara 7 carries, 13 yards. He caught 6 balls for 37 yards. Olave had 5 for 62. This team is terrible. They need to go get themselves a quarterback in the draft next year. They absolutely have to. This team, like, I don't even know what their future is right now. Like, I don't even know what the identity is or anything. This team is just like, I don't know. Just they're bad. So they're not good. But yeah, there we go. That's it. That's all the games. So we still there's one going on right here. You said, obviously Packers, Eagles, there's 9 minutes left. 63-yard touchdown it was to Christian Watson, man. He's really coming on. He is 3 for 95 and a touchdown. These rookies are coming on towards the end of this year. They really are.
They are.
And the Eagles
are the ones you got to look for. Yeah. The
Eagles
are looking good, but this is a good game.
9 minutes. They can get a stop. Jalen Hurts has 147 yards on the ground tonight.
Yeah, and 2 touchdowns two passing touchdowns as well. He's about to have a huge game. And
Miles Sanders ran for 2. Yeah.
AJ Brown already with the touchdown. Quez Watkins with the touchdown.
Oh, Rodgers. Oh, that was from I didn't even realize that. That was from Jordan Love. Yeah, that was.
I didn't either. This is what happens when we're not watching it.
Yeah, I turned it. I mean, I was watching oblique injury for Aaron Rodgers. He went to the locker room. He's not come back, and Jordan Love comes in 3 for 3 with a 63-yard touchdown pass. Interesting.
I can already hear Green Bay. They're ready to trade Aaron Rodgers.
They probably are. All right, there we go. That'll do it for today. we'll be back, on Wednesday with some mailbag questions. So if you're still going, you still got some stuff, get the questions and we'll try to help you out, try to get that final playoff push. That'll do it for today. Talk to you guys next time.